let's talk about the Rumble match.
The Rumble match.
The Rumble
match of them all.
Exactly. The Royal Rumble and WrestleMania are the only two pay-per-views that I'll actually buy. Because I want to buy them to watch them on TV to see, because they're the two that I really, really, really support. Mm-hmm. The rest of them, I'm in Canada, I'll stream them, and you can't do a goddamn thing about it. Anyways.
Nice.
Exactly. Suck it, Sopa. I did a quick list here of the top 10 guys that I could potentially see returning at the Royal Rumble.
Well, we can't see Randy Orton.
That's true. We can't say Randy Orton because now he's back. So the top 9 guys that I expect to see come back. We can't say Mick Foley either because Mick Foley's there. The top 8 guys.
God, keep on getting short, man.
I'm sorry. I did this like 2 weeks ago. So. All right, so some potential guys that we could see coming back, and I'll mention a couple of people that didn't make my list, but that I've read in some spoilers or whatever. Some people are saying Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Really?
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, you know, it would be kind of cool. It'd be a mark out moment to be like, oh, you know. So that would be kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But. You know, ultimately, whatever. And some other sites have been saying fucking Zack Ryder. So,
well, yeah.
You know, whatever.
Whatever. If he comes back, then I don't know what I'd do.
Exactly.
Probably take up drinking again.
You take up drinking again, exactly. Diamond Dallas Page. DDP's been out of wrestling since 2002.
Yeah.
He left the company on his own terms, but he's uninjured. So it's like maybe these are just guys that I want to see come back. I don't actually think Diamond Dallas Page is going to come out in the Royal Rumble. Although if he does, I'll fucking blow up and be like, haha, I said it first. So I'd like to see, you know, maybe Diamond Dallas Page, Batista. Batista's uninjured.
Yeah.
Left the company on his own terms. Tried to start an MMA career, and that fucking fell through because Strikeforce is pretty much dead. The Hurricane, another guy that's not injured.
Hurricane, yeah.
He's only been gone for a year.
Wow.
Exactly. So I mean, but he's not injured. He's not wrestling anywhere else. So, or anywhere that he wouldn't be able to get out of his contract to go to the Royal Rumble. MVP. We haven't seen MVP in a long time.
What's he doing?
He's wrestling over in Japan.
Really?
Yeah. So, but he left the company because he's like, you know, I want to try other things. He didn't leave the company on bad terms, and he said right from day one, he's like, I'd like to come back to WWE someday. So you never know. He's doing decent over in Japan, but you know, could be another one that we could possibly see come back. Again, just another guy that's not injured. Yeah. Jamie Noble. I don't know if anybody remembers exactly what happened to Jamie Noble. Jamie Noble got injured by Sheamus back in 2009 when Sheamus first came in.
Okay.
He hurt him so bad that it ended his career. He didn't wrestle for a couple of years because he had a back injury. Broken back.
A real bro?
But he wrestled at a couple of WWE house shows in 2012, this year. So, could be possible. We might see him come back.
Definitely.
I had Mick Foley, but he's already in the Rumble.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
I think is a big possibility to come back.
That is a big possibility.
He injured his knee and had surgery in August for the 6th time in his one knee. For every report was that rehab was going really well. He's been really active on Twitter lately. But he's been pimping the Royal Rumble on his Twitter. So the possibility could be there that he might show up.
Definitely.
He may even show up early because remember he won the Royal Rumble from the number 2 spot in 2000. I think it was 2006. It was the year after Eddie Guerrero died.
Yeah.
He started number 2 in the Rumble and then ended up winning it. He was in for the record, I think it's 62 minutes and 15 seconds or whatever it was.
Close there, yeah.
Something like that. So, Mysterio, I could potentially see coming back. Christian. I think Christian is a big, because he had an injured ankle, I think. He injured his ankle in November. So, It was diagnosed as a high ankle sprain, which usually takes anywhere between 3 to 6 months. But you think November, December, January, we're right at the end of January, right at the end of the early part to where he could come back from that.
Yeah.
So for the Rumble itself, I could see him coming back. And the big one for me is The Undertaker.
I can see that. A lot of people are saying The Undertaker come back, and it's good if he comes back. I don't think he should win it.
No, I don't think really the Undertaker should win it either.
If he comes back, good. But I mean,
Although
Undertaker's done.
Well, he's done everything, right? He's won the Royal Rumble before.
Yeah.
And actually, you'll see. We'll talk about when we go into potential winners. I actually have Undertaker winning pretty high up there, strictly because he has no WrestleMania plans yet.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like he's not. He doesn't have any plans yet for Mania.
Main event or anything.
He doesn't have an opponent.
He doesn't have an opponent.
So we don't know. Like, is he going to rematch? Is Triple H going to rematch him again, like Shawn Michaels? Shawn Michaels fought him back to back. Is Triple H going to rematch him again? Is that a match that we want to see? I don't know. Was there anybody else that you thought as far as people that might potentially return?
Return like
guys either come back from injury or come back to the company. Maybe make their company debut.
Wrestled for a while. I mean,
potentially.
None that I can think of,
Actually,
I might see, Goldust is still on the company. But
yes, but he hasn't wrestled in a while. That's true.
In a while. Kevin Nash.
I could see Nash coming back.
Definitely if Triple H is back.
Yeah, and that's a good point. If Triple H shows up in like the CM Punk match, or even shows up in the Rumble or whatever, Nash for darn sure I think would be there too.
Yeah.
Actually, here's somebody that didn't make the list, but I just thought of Alberto Del Rio. Because he hurt his groin.
Yes.
And he hurt his groin a little while back and hasn't been on TV for a while. But he should be at the point where he should be pretty close to being back. So Alberto Del Rio, that's a possibility too. Anybody else you can think of?
Not off the top of my head.
Not off the top? Fair enough.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Austin. You know what? They mentioned that on Aftermath last night.
I wish.
And it's like, oh my God, what if Austin came back? Holy shit. So yeah, maybe. The potential might be there.
Yeah.
Alright, well we've talked about potential people that we may think could come back. Let's talk about who might win the thing.
Oh boy.
And these are just my thoughts, and feel free, we can argue them or whatever. Actually, before we do this, I'm just going to take a peek at how long our video's been going. 31 minutes. 31 minutes. So we should be good for at least another 10 minutes on the video. We're working with a digital camera on a video card here, people, so we're on borrowed time.
High tech shit.
Exactly. Top 10 potential winners of the 2012 Royal Rumble. I'll even throw out my odds there. These odds are completely arbitrary. They mean nothing, so feel free to ignore them if you'd like. My number.
I will.
He knows he will. He's already drunk, so it doesn't matter.
This isn't water.
Exactly. There's a bucket. My number 10, and I did top 10 potential winners again. Drew McIntyre. I gave him 500 to 1 odds. But, like, what the fuck are they doing with Drew McIntyre?
They're not doing anything.
He's
losing all of his matches.
I dislike this storyline that they're doing with him. Where it's like, every week Teddy Long is basically like, win this match or you're fucking fired. And he goes out and he loses the match. And then the next week Teddy's like, win this match or you're fucking fired. And they just keep going and going and going with it. I'm sick of it. I want to see him either win a match or move him over to Raw. So, but then I would think, what a story it would be if he fucking comes out of nowhere and wins the Rumble, and then he can like rub it in Teddy Long's face, like, you never believed in me. black bastard, and,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I could see it happening, but it's a real long shot. My number 9 is Kane. He's already booked. He's already booked into having this match with John Cena. But as we know, as they've been pimping, everyone is eligible to enter the Royal Rumble this year. I don't know that was different from any other year.
Yeah. What does that mean?
But it basically what that's telling me is at least, well, it's more likely that someone who's already wrestling on the card is also going to be in the Rumble.
Okay.
So I think it's at least a couple of people are probably going to pull double duty. I think. So he is already booked, but as we all know, like the tone of every Royal Rumble changes when Kane comes in. Because there's always this mystique of like that year that he eliminated 11 guys.
Mm.
And it's like, oh my god, he's a fucking monster and a powerhouse. Especially with the way they've sort of rebooted his character now. So I gave it 250 to 1 because it's not even guaranteed that he's going to be in the Rumble.
Right.
But if he comes in, I would be willing to bump that up. Because, I think it would be, like I said, it always changes when Kane enters the Rumble. So you always got to give him at least a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
Right with him, and I really wish I wouldn't have done this now since he broke his back, but Zack Ryder. I gave him
back to win.
Maybe. I gave him 225 to 1 odds when I first did this. Because he lost his U.S. title, and I thought, okay, if he doesn't have the U.S. title anymore, what are they going to do with him? Is this the end of his push, or are they going to keep pushing him? Is he ready to be pushed up into the main event? So I had to give it an outside shot. I don't even think he's going to be in the Rumble. I hope he is. You know what? I'll even post-scripted by saying this. If Zack Ryder enters the Royal Rumble a week after originally breaking his back, I'll stop watching wrestling. I'll stop watching wrestling up until WrestleMania. I'm going to throw it out there right now. If he fucking shows up in this match, I'll just stop. I won't watch Raw. I won't watch SmackDown. I'll read the breakdowns, but I'm not going to watch the shows. Fuck's sakes. Anyways, moving on. My next one was, actually, I'll do 7 and 6 together. R-Truth and The Miz. The Miz is now entering at number 1 because of that stipulation that their match had. R-Truth I gave 100 to 1 odds, and The Miz I gave 90 to 1 odds. And I put them together because it's like, how much longer can this feud go on? You know what I mean? Like, how much longer can they go together before one is, like, pushed ahead?
Yeah.
The Miz has already main evented WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He main evented WrestleMania with John Cena. Beat John Cena at WrestleMania. So, I mean, they could put him back there, or they could push R-Truth. But I don't know how much longer this feud between the two of them can go on. So I thought maybe like one of them winning the Royal Rumble is just the thing that they would need to sort of catapult past the feud.
Okay.
And go. So but again, I gave them really sort of 1% chance basically of winning the Rumble. My number 5 was Sheamus. Sheamus I gave 50 to 1 odds to win the Rumble. Just because like he's too big a star in the company now to be doing nothing.
Oh, for sure.
Like, he had this storyline with Jinder Mahal, which... Get Jinder Mahal off television. Fuck. Yeah. And then now this week he squashed Drew McIntyre on SmackDown. But, like, he's not doing anything. He doesn't have a great feud with somebody. Probably a product of SmackDown's roster not being the greatest. So, like, he's too big a star to be doing nothing. So, like, could winning the Royal Rumble and going on and doing a storyline with Daniel Bryan, so you can sort of stay with this, I gotta slay this big giant monster sort of thing.
Yeah.
But...
That would kind of be... Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I could see
be alright. Wade Barrett.
Barrett.
I gave Wade Barrett 30 to 1 odds actually to win the Rumble. Just because, yeah, he's getting a big push. Like he has a storyline now with Randy Orton.
He does, yeah.
And he's getting a push.
That could cost him in the Royal Rumble.
It could, absolutely, because I think both of them are going to be in it.
Because with Randy and Barrett with SmackDown, I mean, the whole roster or half the roster had to come out to keep them up.
Yeah, that's true. And then Orton pulled a Stone Cold and just RKO'd everybody.
Yeah.
Which I must say doesn't come off quite as good as the Stunner does, because the Stunner's a little bit faster. But the RKO I think takes too much setup. And anyways, it was good. But yeah, Wade Barrett, I'm giving pretty decent odds that, like, because I think it could build a good storyline too.
It could.
But that's more so if Daniel Bryan loses the title in the title match, then I could see it happening more. Because I would be less invested in a feud between Wade Barrett and Daniel Bryan as I would between, like, a short feud between Wade Barrett and Big Show, or Wade Barrett and Mark Henry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would be a little less enthused about Wade Barrett and Daniel Bryan. But anyway, so that all, of course, remains to be seen. My number 3 was The Undertaker. Because we don't even know if he's going to be in the match yet. I still gave him 10-1 odds based on the fact that he doesn't have any WrestleMania plans yet.
Right.
And it's just like, even though I gave him 10-1 odds, I don't want to see him win the Rumble. I really don't, because he doesn't need to.
No, he doesn't need to. He's done enough.
He has
won all of his WrestleMania matches. He's got the streak going.
He's won however many world titles he's won, 6 or 7 now.
I mean, he doesn't need it.
No, it's true. It's true. He doesn't need it at all. But I still gave him the high odds based on the fact that he doesn't have any WrestleMania plans yet. So that's why I said the odds are pretty foolish, really. My odds anyway. My number 2 odds. My number 2 was Randy Orton. I gave him 5-1 odds. The Royal Rumble is in his hometown of St. Louis. He's just come back from injury. It could heighten his feud with Wade Barrett.
For sure.
Because Barrett can be like, you didn't deserve to win the Rumble, and blah, 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 and try to take him out. Maybe even a stipulation match, being like, we're gonna fight at the next pay-per-view, and if I beat you, I get your main event spot at WrestleMania or something like that. You know what I mean? Almost like a Money in the Bank sort of thing.
Yeah.
So they could use that to heighten the feud with Wade Barrett. And like I say, it's in his hometown. Just coming off injury. WWE likes to give Royal Rumble victories to guys just coming off injury.
Yeah.
Or the guys that make the surprise return. They like doing that. Vince has a bit of a hard-on for it. But my number one potential, and this has grown more and more in the last couple of weeks, is Chris Jericho. And Arda on Aftermath echoed my exact same sentiment, basically. There's this idea that, like, you have the last 2 or 3 guys that's in there with only number 30 left to come down. They all somehow eliminate each other. The ring is empty. Whoever number 30 is wins the Rumble. The lights go down. Jericho's got his fucking coat on. He still hasn't officially been in a match, and he's going to headline WrestleMania. And
that would be pretty epic.
It would be the ultimate troll on the audience. Because it's like, here's a guy that's come back, still hasn't wrestled a single match, and now he's going to go headline WrestleMania because he won the Royal Rumble without having to lift a finger. It would be the ultimate troll to the audience. So I gave him, I gave him 3-1 odds to win the Rumble. I just think that would be a great way to do it. It would be a great way to piss off so many people, because all the purists that would be like, whoa, he didn't deserve to win the Rumble, and this Orton deserved to win it, or whoever deserved to win it. It's like, yeah, but I did. So I would just like to see it.
I would too, and I kind of agree with you, and thinking that Chris Jericho, he might win the Royal Rumble. Well, no. I pretty much like Chris Jericho when he wrestled before, and when he came back, you know, the whole comeback of not saying anything, that didn't quite work for me.
No, fair enough.
But his last statement about at Royal Rumble would be the end of the world as we know it.
And I feel fine.
Or whatever he said.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly what he said, yeah.
But you added that to it, so I thought I said it wrong.
No.
You know, that kind of, I've read a couple things out there, which is saying, you know, back when Chris Jericho, he stated that he was the best in the world.
Right, yeah, when he was back doing like the, plebeians and you parasites and everything like that, and he was like, I'm the best in the world at what I do.
Yeah, and then CM Punk now is the best in the world.
And it comes out and says, actually, I should have been wearing my CM Punk t-shirt while we were doing this.
So that kind of sets up for CM Punk and Jericho.
Yeah.
And Summer.
At WrestleMania for the title. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, could very well do it. Anybody else you think has a real legit shot at winning the Rumble?
Possibly Christian.
Christian? You know, Christian coming back and winning the Rumble might not be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Christian's very deserving. I think he's always been very deserving of the title. I really didn't like the whole one more match storyline that he was going on, but you know, that's SmackDown for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Christian winning the Rumble, that could work. Anybody else?
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it?
Yeah.
Well, before we run out of time, why don't we cut this off? That has been our 2012 Royal Rumble preview video. Royal Rumble, again, takes place tomorrow, Sunday, January 29th, I believe 8 p.m. Eastern. You can order it on pay-per-view. We're going to be ordering it on pay-per-view. We're going to be resurrecting a long-standing tradition of ordering pay-per-view and pizza.
That's the tradition. Haven't done it in a while. It's going to be great.
Exactly. So we're gonna chill out in my living room, and we're going to watch again, what I say is the most exciting and entertaining pay-per-view of the year. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not the most. No, I guess WrestleMania is more entertaining, but
one of the two.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, one of the two best ones that still exist. WWE, thank you for putting on a wonderful product so far this year. Bring back the King of the Ring in the old format. Mm-hmm. You want to pimp your stuff again, your YouTube and your Twitter?
I'm pretty good.
You're pretty good? All right. Well,
they should know me by now.
Yeah, they'll know you by now.
They can just flip back to the start of the video or refresh the page to give you more hits.
Exactly. See? Yeah. Oh, that's thinking. That's it for us. I'm Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter. Follow, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. That is Nicolars.
Yeah. Or if you're on Facebook, just poke him.
Yeah, it's true. Got a little poke in the chin fuzz there.
Oh.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you all later.
Late.